So, hello guys, thanks for joining me today. Today we will talk about SSH and SCP using public and private key, which also called key-based authentication. So basically, SSH, why we are using secure cell? Secure cell will be used to connect to some remote machine from one machine, correct? So when you are using SSH, basically you have to connect through password. But in this case, we will not use password. We will use public and private key, the set of public and private key to connect to the remote host. Also, if you have used SCP secure copy, then you have find at the time of SCP you have to use user and password in order to copy some file from one place to another place or from one source to destination, correct? But in this particular case, what we are going to do is we will go for key based authentication, that is using public and private key. We will try to transfer file from source to destination. Okay, so now what I will do here is I will share this slide along with some of the notes in Notepad so that it will make your job convenient when you will practice SSH and SCP using key-based authentication. So here you can see we want to connect or we want to send some file or data from source to destination. So this is a source machine and this is a destination machine. So what exactly you have to do at the source machine and what exactly you have to do on destination machine in order to go for SSH or SCP key based authentication or passwordless authentication. What are the steps that you have to do? So there are major two steps that you have to do on source machine. You have to create public and private key. Again, there is a command to create public and private key. I will explain you how to create. Anyway, later we will go through those steps also, but this is the main prime step that you have to do on the source machine. And the second step is you have to share the public key with the destination server. Now, come to destination server. What are the changes that you have to do on destination server? So you have to create a user by which source will connect to destination server, correct? So if user already exists, then good. If not, then you have to create a user. Again, it depends upon organization. Sometimes you will have access, root access or sudo access to create the user, but sometimes if you don't have, then you can ask your admin to create user for you also. Okay, now the second most important step is into the home directory of that user which you have created in step 1. There you need to create a directory .ssh. Permission of that .ssh directory will be 700 and authorized keys will be a file. Under .ssh directory, you have to create a file with name authorized keys. Again, the permission of authorized key should not be more than 644. So it has to have 644 or less. Okay, or better to keep it 644. Simple. So these are the changes you have to do on source and destination machine. Okay, now try to understand where exactly you need, why exactly you need SSH or SCP. So why exactly you need is, like let's say you are at one machine, but you have to connect to n number of machine. So every time it is not very convenient to connect to different host and then by using same set of username and password a different time, correct? So what you can do is you can generate private key and public key on the source machine. As we discussed in our last slide, you have to generate public and private key. So basically, in simple words, treat lock as a public key and key as a private key. So what you have to do is you have to give your lock to all these destination server and you only have the key. So who is so you now try to understand, you only have the key, however all destination server will have your lock, so you can only open those lock, correct? So in that way only you have to share public key to all those destination server, and then you remotely can connect to those destination server from source using your private key, without giving the password, correct? So this is one of the scenario. Now, scheduler or daily job. In second scenario, let's say you have a scheduler or daily job where you want to send some file to some destination server, correct? So you cannot do SCP using password, correct? In that case, you have to use some sort of automated thing. So what you can do is you can generate a key, private key and public key. Keep your private key with yourself, share your public key with the destination server, and then you can write your script to use those keys, and you are good. So basically this will help you in your scheduler or daily job also using SSH or SCP, okay, which anyway we are going to discuss in our practical session. So I think we all are very clear for this slide. So now what we will do is let's go to the system and try to understand how we will practical or how practically we can use SSH or SCP. Okay guys, so let's open the putty. Okay, so this is one of my, okay, I have root user, so I am logging through root user. However, you guys can log in through the user what you have. Okay, so two machine, one with 192.168.73 and another machine with 74. Okay, so okay, now this is two machine we have. On this machine I have a user called HTTP. So right now I logged in as HTTP. Okay, what I will do is right now I am in my home directory, so I will make a directory test SSH. Okay, into test SSH I'll go there, and there, so now let's say this is .73 and this is .74. Okay, so we have two machine, so dot this, let's keep this guy as the source. Okay, so this will be our source, and this will be destination. And if you will remember, then here what we have to do on source machine, create public and private key. Okay, so the command which we have to use is SSH keys in. Actually this command by default available on all Linux distribution, so you can make use of that. And who is the source? .73. So let's go to .73. This is 74, this is 73. Okay, on this machine we have to do. So right now we are at test SSH, just go for that, and here, okay, and by default what it will do is this SSH keys in command, it will try to create ID underscore RSA. So SSH keys in -t RSA. So -t is to give what sort of algorithm you want to go for key generation, whether RSA or AES or DES, whatever. Okay, so there are a whole lot of algorithm. However, the best known and familiar one is RSA. So we'll go through RSA. Okay, and -b is the bit size of your key. So always try to go for a larger length. Why? Because that will be more secure. Okay, now if you will see, it is giving me by default home location dot ssh id rsa, but I want to keep id rsa. Okay, okay, id rsa I want to keep in this path, home http test ssh id rsa. Okay, this is the path, so I'll give that, and I don't want to give any passphrase. No, no, done. So by the end, if you will see, so we have, this is the private key and this is the public key. So the you have generated a set of key, correct? So you have to keep your private key. As I told, public key is a lock, so give your lock to someone else and you have the key. So whenever you want to use your lock, you just have to use your private key, correct? So in that's the reason you have to share your public key to the destination. So what I will do is SCP this guy, and then I will log into 74. Okay, 192.168.1.74. So what I'll do is I'll go with, so I can use any user, but right now I can use root. However, you can use some other user because you may not have access to root, but I am having, so I am using it. 1.74 temp into the temp directory. So I have to give, okay, done. This file is transferred here. Now there are two steps that we have to complete, like create public and private key, which we already done, and then share the public key to the destination server. That's also we are done. So we are done with the source thing. Now come to destination server. So this is the destination server. Okay, so source is done. Now come to destination. What we have to do on destination is, let's create a user add learn SSH. So this is the user. So as soon as when you will create a user with learn SSH, the corresponding group will also be created, and that user will be the part of that group, learn SSH. So user add done. So learn SSH is done. Now set password for learn SSH. Okay, I'm giving password. Good, done. Now what next? In next, so we are done with the user creation. Now we have to switch to that user, or what we can do is we can go for a duplicate session and we'll go with, but before that, one more thing what we can do is we'll make this user means password never expire, something like that. So how we will do that? Okay, so what happen if password will so many organization has a compliance thing where password is getting changed in 90 days or 60 days. In that case, you have to log in with this user again and update the password. However, you need not to update the key again, but you have to update the password. But we don't want all these headaches. So what we can do is -x1 and learn SSH. This is our user. So okay, one second. Okay, so -x small we have to use. What I'm going to share all this command on notepad. In description it will be there. So yes, now it is never expiring user. So if you want to check, how you can check is, let me show you. Okay, so you can see password account expires never, password in fact inactive never. Okay, Okay, sorry, you have to go with -1. You have to go with -1. -1 means password expired never. Okay, so you are good with this user. Now what you have to do is you have to log into the same machine using duplicate session we have created, and then we will learn SSH, and the password will be whatever password you have set for this user, and done. You're logged in. So now if you will see, you don't have any .ssh directory. So what we will do is we'll create a directory, make directory .ssh, and then same directory we will change the permission to 700.ssh. Done. Okay, if you will see, then you have 700 permission over there. So now go to cd.ssh, and there you have to create a file called authorized keys _keys. Okay, again chmod 644 authorized keys. Done. Good. So you have everything done now. Now what next you have to do? So basically here, if you will see, then right now you logged in as a root on the same machine, and you can see this ID RSA public is there, the owner is root. So what we can do is chmod 777 and then temp ID RSA. We'll change the permission so that anyone can read. Okay, now this is the same machine with ID learn SSH. So what you need to do is in authorized keys you have to copy ID RSA dot public. So what we will do is cat temp ID RSA public to the authorized keys. Done. So you have the content in authorized keys now. So now you are done with both the changes which are required on the list. Create user and then paste public key in the authorized keys. Why we have to place public key in authorized key? Because if you will see, actually by root only you can see that file. So if you will see here, vi etc ssh sshd-config, in this config file if you will see, then you can find here, you can see the default is to check both .ssh authorized key and .ssh authorized keys too, but this is overridden, so installation will only check .ssh authorized keys. Okay, authorized keys file .ssh authorized keys. Okay, so what we will do is here you can see it is in a small case only. So let's see what we have done. Okay, so we will change this to a small case. Okay, done. Now let's try to connect to this machine, or what we will do is we will send some file. So first let's try to connect. So this machine is, if you will see, 74 and we have to connect through source. So this is our source, correct? (73) is our source and we have both the key. So what we will do, SSH -i is used to give the key location, private key location, SSH -i ID RSA, and which user you have created there, you have created user learn SSH at the rate, what is the IP, 192.168.1.74. done. And yes, you are where you are right now. You are on 74. You got connected without giving the password, or try once again. Okay, So right now where you are, hostname hyphen I and UID. Okay. Oh, sorry, not UID, ID. Okay. So you are on 1.73 by using user ID HTTP. Okay. Now what you will do is you will try to connect 74. So now do the same thing, hostname hyphen I ID. So you are on 74 machine by using learn SSH and you connected without password, correct? So that's the beauty of SSH using key or passwordless authentication. Now what we will do is we will share or we will send some file to the destination server. So let's create a file, cat testme.txt and test me please. Okay, done. Now what we will do is scp hyphen I is again for giving your. Okay, now you, oh sorry, I have created this file using learn SSH. So right now if you will see testme.ssh is there, so testme.txt is there, so let's remove it. Okay, now exit. Okay, so now where you are on the source machine, you are on the source machine 1.73. here create a file, cat testme.txt test me please. Okay, done. Now what you have to do is you have to send so this file, so scp hyphen I is for giving the private key, and then file name is test me. Okay, then the username is learn ssh at the rate, and IP of the destination 192.168.1.74, and then you can give the path also. Okay, if not path, then automatically it will go to home location of this user, but let's give the path where this user, or simply you can go for temp. Okay, so in temp this will this user will be this file will be there in temp. Okay, so okay, it's sent. Now rather than temp, what you can do is you can send to the home of this guy, learn ssh. Okay, so it is available at the two places. Now what you can do is you can connect using ssh on this machine. So we are there on this machine, and if you will see, you have testme.txt, and if you will see in temp, you will have testme.txt. so good. So guys, these are the basic thing that you have to make sure when you are using SSH or SCP. One of the very important thing in this is the permission of .ssh and authorized keys. So permission of .ssh should be 700. Permission of authorized keys should be 644. So just make a note of it. It is imperative, very important. Okay, so guys, if you like the video, then please raise a thumbs up, give comment to the video, and also share the videos. If you already not a member of this channel, then please subscribe to the channel. Okay guys, so thank you.